Hi everybody, welcome back to part 2 of Basics of Cross Stitching. Thank you so much for, we hope that you watched the last video. We hope you really enjoyed it and that it really inspired you to try cross stitching. And now maybe you feel a little adventurous and you want to create your own cross stitch design. And that is what I'm going to be here to teach you today. So my name is Stephanie Kewen. I am the Youth and Community Librarian from the Medicine Hat Public Library. And yeah, today I'm going to show you how to make your own cross stitch design to follow. So very easy steps here. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to find an image that inspires you, that you want to create. You can draw it yourself. You can find an image on the internet. Because it's springtime, I chose a tulip. Tulips are one of my favorite flowers, and so I found this really cute little design. If you're trying to find pick a picture off the internet, try to keep it simple. It will help you in the long run. The next thing you're going to need is some grid paper, and I would recommend real grid paper instead of printed grid paper because it will make tracing a lot easier for you. And then you're just going to need a pencil and maybe a Sharpie just to get started. So we have our picture that you have drawn or found, and you're going to just place the grid paper over top. And you're going to trace the design. Now with real grid paper, you'll be very easily to see your design underneath. So I've kind of gone ahead and cheated a little bit and did it the other way, upside down, and now I'm going to re-outline it so that I can see it on the grid here. So let me just outline this really quickly. Now when you are drawing it and tracing it onto the grid, you want to make sure you're trying to get as many full squares as possible, just to help make it easier when you are planning your design. If you're a little bit more advanced and not scared of half stitches or quarter stitches, then you don't have to worry about that so much. But if you have no idea what that means, you're going to want to try and keep it to the full square as possible. Okay, so now that you have traced your design, so you can see it in comparison to the original here, you're going to want to pick some colors. I'm going to stick with the colors from this picture, but you can pick whatever colors you like. I would recommend consulting the color wheel when picking your own colors, so that you have colors that are complementing each other or contrasting each other, just to make it a little bit more appealing. So you're going to grab some pencil crayons, markers, anything like that are going to coordinate with your thread colors, and we're going to color in our design to match it up. So here for the stem, I'm going to do a dark green, and you can even make up your own symbols. So for dark green, I'm going to do an X. So I'm going to put X's all along the stems here. X, 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 X. And for the leaves, I'm going to do a light green. So I'm going to do like a squiggle. So in my design, you're going to see I have kind of half of or quarter of these squares. When I actually get down to stitching it, you can decide if you want to attempt some half stitches or quarter stitches. That is up to you. At the bottom of the flower, I'm going to do pink, light pink. Inner parts, I'm going to do red. Now you can see I have some lines in my flower. And what you can do is you can add this detail afterwards in your design. It's called a back stitch, and it's just creating a line through your cross stitches that you've completed to add that extra detail. But that's completely optional for you. Alright, so now we've color coded our design. We've picked out some threads. We have our prepped Ida cloth, and you can get started. Now it might be some trial and error, because as I said, there's some weird, like, you might get these half squares, so you might want to decide to either make it a little bit more boxy, and that's okay. And if you want to try doing a half stitch, that's also super easy. When you're doing a half stitch, I'll just show you quickly. Get some thread here. So if you want to attempt a half stitch, you are going to start like you're making a normal stitch. Pull it all the way through. Now instead of going to the top right through the hole, you are going to make your very own hole in between the bottom left hole and the top right hole. And you're going to poke your needle right through the Ida cloth where there's no hole. You might have to put a little pressure on that and pull through. And you can see, compared to that first stitch, it is half the size. So that's what a half stitch looks like. Now if you're wanting to add some more detail to your design with these lines at the end, I would recommend using a slightly different color than your colors that you've chosen. So you might want to choose a black, for example, for extra bold detail. And all you're going to do is make straight lines through your fabric. So instead of going, and this kind of gets really fun, instead of doing the cross, you can just pick out however long you want that line to be and just pull, and you've just made a big nice line. And you can, I want to go this way, let's say, to the right next. To finish that line, because you've gone through the back, you're just going to go backwards in through that hole. So this is called back stitching. And this is what you would do at the very end after you've completed all your stitching, your cross stitching, and you're going to do this over top of your cross stitches, like so. Perfect. So we hope you have fun creating your own cross-stitch designs. Please tag us on Instagram at MHPLteens. You can use the hashtag craftingwithstephanie. We'd love to see your own designs and completed projects. Thanks so much for joining, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. This is a huge hobby of mine. I'm no expert, but I love cross-stitching and want to teach more people how to do it, because it's so simple and fun, and for me it is a huge self-care, mental health activity. It just really helps to calm me down and concentrate on some happier things. So we hope to see you soon, and see you later.